Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 4 Absolute Doom is almost over, and I want to start out this video by saying that I like the season. I enjoyed it a lot. Now the question is, did this season live up to Nexus War or just the hype that it had in general? I mean, we knew about this season for months because of the leaked roadmap, and once Disney dropped that trailer at D23, everyone was going nuts. And today we're going to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly to determine was this season actually good. Also, you guys should totally like and subscribe. If I hit 10k by the end of the year, I will do an elbow reveal. Also, please consider using code LilSmurf on your next Fortnite item shop purchase. Okay, let's get back to the video.
Oh my god!
There's a lot of good stuff about this season, so let's just jump right into it. For starters, the map. Oh my gosh, the map was peak. We got POI changes such as Doomstead, Doom's Courtyard, Castle Doom. Wow, there's like a lot of Doom this season. It's almost like it's in the name of the season. And we also had the raft. The new biome that they added onto the map was really cool. I love how it gave off some sort of Chapter 2 vibes. Just the way the colors sort of popped out and the way that the biome looked in general, it gave me a lot of Chapter 2 vibes for some reason. But overall, W map changes, not that much else to say. Actually, I lied, there is more to say because of the Fortnitemares changes with Freaky Fields, Brawler's Patch, and the Grand Glacier reskin. Which leads me to another good aspect about this season, the Fortnitemares. If you watched last week's video, you know that I consider this Fortnitemares to be the best, and I 100% still stand by that statement. Everything about this Fortnitemares is so fun. The chainsaw, Boom Billy, the POIs, red water at the underworld, the fog around the map, the vibes, all the stuff that they involted. Overall, this is just such a fun Fortnitemares and definitely boosted it up a couple points in my book. Also, I want to get into some aspects of the loot pool. Not all of it, because it wasn't perfect, and we'll get to that later. For guns, we obviously had stuff like the dual SMGs, Striker AR finally got unvaulted, we have the Sovereign Shotgun, which is the best shotgun they've added this chapter. Overall, this still is really good for gunplay, but the main focus, obviously, is the Marvel Mythics. To start off the season, we had Captain America's shield and the War Machine Mythics. I really like the auto turret and the jetpack, but there was one thing about the jetpack that I did not like. Again, we'll get to that later. And Captain America's shield was so much fun to use, and it was a little broken at the start, but then they ended up nerfing it, and in my opinion, it became pretty balanced. These mythics didn't feel like the cars from Wrecked, because even though I was having fun with them that season, I could tell that they were absolutely broken and had to be nerfed. But this season, it felt like almost everything was perfectly balanced. And it kept getting better because later they added Shuri's Claws and they added the Iron Man Mythics, which were so good. The Iron Man boots especially were just so good for mobility. And with Iron Man's combat kit, you literally felt like Iron Man flying through, blasting people with your unibeam and then falling down to shoot people with your repulsors. The Marvel Mythics that did get added this season were really good, and I like them a lot. I also really liked the Dr. Doom event. I thought that was super fun to play, and by the looks of it, we're gonna get another live event at the end of the season, which is pretty hype. We also had the addition of the Dr. Doom Island and the Day of Doom LTM, which were super fun to play. I was kind of hating on them at first, but the more I played with it, the more I had fun. It did kind of stink a little bit that the Dr. Doom Mythic was so rare, but it didn't really matter to me because, well, if it spawned in every game, that would be like absolute chaos. Now, that's everything good I have to say about this season. There is a lot good with this season, and it really is super good. But there's also some bad aspects, and let's get into those right now.
My resolution? Airstrikes. Bomb them. Bomb them, keep bombing them, bomb them again and again.
So, like I said, there are some not so good aspects about this season, and let's get into the main one for me, which is wasted potential. I'm sitting here trying to wrap my finger around why we didn't get an LTM with the old Marvel Mythics. or at least not bring them back in some capacity. Because they were in the files, Epic had plans to bring them back, but they just didn't. My guess is after last season, seeing all the backlash for all the overpowered mythics they added, they didn't want to add too many mythics this season, which kinda sucks. Epic, you do know this is a Marvel season. No one's gonna get mad at you for adding Marvel mythics. While we're on the topic, I want to talk about how wasted the Marvel skins were this season. And I'm not talking the ones that they added. No, those ones were phenomenal. I loved every single one of them. Especially Black Cat. No, I'm talking about the ones that they didn't add. What do I mean by this? Well, Epic, let me ask you this. How do you add Fantastic Four Easter eggs all around the island, a destroyed Ultron, Vision, and just a bunch of other superheroes onto the island, and you do nothing with it? Nothing. Realistically, they're probably saving the Fantastic Four for when they come to theaters next year. But like, Epic, don't edge us like that and then not do anything with the Fantastic Four. Also, the wasted potential for certain Marvel mythics that they could have added. Like, you're telling me you couldn't add something for Mysterio other than a crappy medallion? Seriously, this medallion was actually so garbage. And while we're on the topic, like, Emma Frost's medallion was alright, but you could literally get the ability from an NPC, and Dr. Doom's was just Hades' medallion reskinned, which isn't a problem, but like the Siphon was just like, it's alright. And remember how I said that almost everything in the loot pool was balanced? Keyword, almost everything. Because there was one thing in the loot pool that was not balanced. The War Machine's arsenal. This thing was insanely broken, and Epic kind of nerfed it a little bit, but then they took it out of ranked, and that was the only Marvel mythic that they took out of ranked for some reason. It absolutely baffles me how Epic has not learned to split the loot pools, even after last season, where the whole problem with Season 3 was solved because they split the loot pools. Epic, literally, if you want to experiment with something, just take it out of ranked and then listen to the pubs community, and if they don't like it, then you can nerf it. But don't nerf something to the ground and then don't take it out of ranked, because that only makes everyone mad. The casuals aren't happy because now that thing that was super fun for them is nerfed to the ground and basically useless at this point, and comp players are still mad because it's still in their loot pool. I think you know what I'm talking about when I mention this. The War Machine's hover jets. Holy, these things got absolutely nerfed to the ground. At this point, it was basically just a low gravity effect, the way you barely even flew after the nerfs. At this point, the flying wasn't even, like, plausible with the War Machine's hover jets. Everyone just went for Iron Man's boots. I think that covers all of the bad. There was a lot of good and bad about this season, but was this season actually good, or was it actually pretty stinky?
Why so, Sigma?
Like I said at the beginning of the video, I really like this season. I thought it was a fun time and is by far my favorite of the chapter. I honestly would consider putting it in my top 10. Now, do I think it's better than Nexus War?
Hell no!
Nexus War is an amazing season. It's in my top 3 and is the best of chapter 2 in my opinion. And I feel like that season did way better with the mythics because everyone got their own mythic. It was completely different. We didn't have any like real reskins. Like if you really think about this, Shuri's claws are basically just Wolverine's claws with a different coat of paint. Overall, I do think Nexus War is way better than this season, but that's not saying that this season is bad. I would still give this season an 8.5 out of 10. I had a lot of fun, but there was some wasted potential, and there was something in there that could have been done so much better. But once again, I love this season. It was so much fun, and honestly is going in my top 10. That's all I wanted to say. Like and subscribe, use code LilSmurf. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.